Next question is, let rho r is q by pi r raised to power 4 small r be the charge density distribution of a solid sphere of radius r and total charge q. For a point P inside the sphere at a distance r1 from the center of the sphere, the magnitude of the electric field is. To find the magnitude of electric field, we will use the Gauss law. And as per the problem, suppose this is the solid sphere. In solid sphere, it is a non-conducting sphere on which charge is distributed over its volume. And radius of the sphere is given capital R, and there is a point taken P which is at a distance R1. So we have to find the potential electric field at the point P. And here the distribution of the charge given by the charge density distribution, it is not a constant, but it is a variable function. That means it is depending on R. Distribution is proportional to R. It means as R increases, the density increases. Therefore, we have to use the integral method to get the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. This is the Gaussian surface for which we have to find the electric field. Therefore, first we take a elementary shell of radius say r and thickness is dr. And we have to first find the charge of this elementary shell, and then we can apply the Gauss law. As per Gauss law, integral E dot ds, this is the electric flux which is enclosed by the Gaussian surface, it is equal to 1 by epsilon naught time of the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. And this charge enclosed is, in our case, it is integral charge density function, that is rho r, and the volume of the elementary shell, that is 4 pi r square. This is the surface area multiplied by its thickness, it gives dV. And range of r is from 0, that is from center to the given point r1. Therefore, we have to integrate this. And on left hand side, it is E dot ds for spherical shell, area and field. Both are parallel. This is ds. And hence we can say here angle is 0 degree. Therefore, integral E ds cos 0 degree equal to 1 by epsilon naught times. Here we put the value of the density function r equal to 0 to r1. Density function is q by pi r raised to the power 4 into r. This is the probability density function, and then 4 pi r square dr. This cos 0 is 1, and E is by symmetry, it is a uniform having the same magnitude over the Gaussian surface. Therefore, it can be taken out of the integral. So it is E integral ds, it is equal to 1 by epsilon naught. And from this right hand side integral, we take first cancel the terms which can be cancelled out. Pi will be cancelled, and constant terms are taken out of the integral. This is q, and then pi 4 and capital R raised to power 4, and remaining is r equal to 0 to r raised to power 1, and this is r and r square, that means it is r cube dr. And this integral ds is actually the surface area of the Gaussian surface, and it will be equal to 4 pi r1 square. Therefore, we can write it as E into 4 pi r1 square. It is equal to 1 by epsilon naught 4q by r raised to power 4, and integral of r raised to power q is r raised to the power 4 by 4, using the formula that integral x raised to the power n dx equal to x raised to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. And substituting the limit, we will get r1 raised to the power 4 by 4 minus 0. First upper limit and then lower limit. And this 4 will be cancelled by this 4, because minus 0 is r1 raised to the power 4 minus by 4 minus 0 is simply r1 raised to the power by raised to the power 4 by 4. So 4 and 4 will be cancelled out, and remaining will be E equal to, this 4 pi r1 square is taken in right hand side, we will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and q by r raised to the power 4 into r raised to power r1 raised to power 4 by r raised 1 raised to power 2, and these two will be cancelled. Therefore a will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r raised to the power 4 into r1 square. Now we check the given options, and out of which option C is the correct option. This is q r1 square by 4 pi epsilon naught r raised to the power 4. Next question is, a long cylindrical shell carries positive surface charge sigma in upper half, negative surface charge sigma in minus sigma in lower half. The electric field lines around the cylinder is. So because cylinder is having the positive and negative charge in upper and lower half, so field lines should form a continuous line from positive to negative. Field lines originate from the positive charge and terminates at the negative charge, but in figure B they are not forming the closed line. That means they are not continuous from positive to negative. Therefore, this option B is the wrong option. Similarly, option C is also wrong option because field lines starting from the positive charge, not terminating to the negative charge. Option D is also not correct, although the field lines are starting from positive and going to negative, but these are not continuous, as on the x-axis they are showing some discontinuity. Therefore, this option is also not correct. Option A is the correct option. Here field lines start from positive, terminating at negative, and it is a continuous line. So option A is a correct option. Next question is, three concentric metal shells ABC. Shells means is hollow spheres and concentric means having the same center. Radius are ABC, where A is less than B less than C, have surface charge density plus sigma, minus sigma and plus sigma respectively. The potential of cell B is. If we draw the figure, there are the three spherical shells which are concentric. Concentric means having the same center. This is the center. This is shell A, B and C. Their radius are respectively A, B and C. And it is given that A is less than B less than C. Their surface charge densities are A is plus sigma, B has surface charge density minus sigma, and C has the surface charge density plus sigma. And now we have to find the potential at the shell B. That means we have to find the potential at point P, which is on the shell B. Therefore, this potential at point P will have the three components. One is due to the charge on A, another due to the charge on B, and third one is due to the charge on C. So we can write potential at P is the sum of potential due to A plus potential at P due to B, that is the charge on B, and potential at P due to the shell C. And potential is a scalar quantity, so we have to take the algebraic sum. It is equal to, we know that for a point outside the, we have already done that for a spherical shell, if radius is r, then potential is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, where q is the charge on the shell, when r, distance of the point, is less than equal to capital R, and it is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by small r if r is greater than capital R. That means graph is like r, v, and it is constant for up to radius, that means surface from the center, and after that it decreases with distance as per the v proportional to 1 by r. So using this information, potential at point A, potential due to the charge on shell A at point P, because this In this case, point P is lying outside the point A. Therefore, the potential will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge on A is, first we write this is charge on shell A divided by distance of the point P from the center of the cell, that is cell A, that is it is B. Then for point P, due to the shell B, it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught charge on shell B divided by, now point P at a distance or is at the surface of the shell B, so we will take the radius of the shell B and it is B. And third one is due to the shell C, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QC. This is the charge on shell C, and because now point P is laying inside the shell C, so potential will be same as on the surface. Therefore, we will use the radius C as a distance. Hence, we can write it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA. QA is the charge on the spherical shell A. It is the given that charge density is plus sigma. We have to put the charge with sign, and surface area of the spherical shell A is 4 pi and radius is A square divided by B. Similarly, we can write for other shells, it is minus sigma for shell B, 4 pi B square by B, and third one is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught plus sigma into 4 pi C square by C. On solving, we will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common, and again 4 pi is also common, and a sigma is common. So remaining is, it is A square by B, then minus 1B will be cancelled, it is B, and then plus C. Now we check the options. This 4 pi will get cancelled. It is sigma by epsilon naught A square by B minus B plus C. If we check the option, we can write as sigma by epsilon naught, taking the B LCM, it will be A square minus B square plus C. So option B is the correct option. Similar to question 8, next question is question number 9. Here charge Q is distributed over 3 concentric spherical shells of radius A, B, C, where A is less than B less than C, such that their surface charge densities are equal to one another. The total potential at a point which is at a distance r from their common center, and r is less than the A, that means it is inside the smallest cell. Again we draw the figure of the 3 concentric shells. This is the shell 1, this is another cell, and this is the innermost cell, and common center is say O. Radius of innermost is A, then B, and outermost is C. It is given that A is less than B less than C. Also it is given that total charge Q is distributed over these 3 spherical cells so that their surface charge density is same. Suppose sigma is the surface charge density. Therefore, this Q will be equal to charge on the surface of A, that is sigma, that is the surface charge density, into surface area 4 pi A square. Similarly, for shell B, it will be sigma into 4 pi into B square plus sigma into 4 pi into C square. Therefore, sigma can be written as Q by, here 4 pi is common, we can take it out, and remaining is A square plus B square plus C square. This is the surface charge density on these spherical cells. Now we have to find the potential at a point which is laying inside the spherical shell A. That means this is the R, and R is less than small a. It is given in the question. For the point P, which is inside the spherical shell A, the potential will have 3 components. Potential at P due to the cell A, plus potential at point P due to the cell B, plus potential at point P due to the cell C. And this vector is a scalar quantity, so we have to take the algebraic sum. And we know that potential due to the spherical cell at a point inside the cell is same as at the surface of the spherical cell. For spherical cell, V are equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. For small r, that is distance of the point is less than equal to capital R, and it is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by small r if R is greater than capital R. Using this formula, we can write potential at point P due to A is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught charge on the shell A, and this charge is the surface charge density, or we can now simply write it is QA divided by distance is the radius, that is A, because inside the cell the potential is same as at the surface. Similarly, we can write for cell B, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QB, this is the charge on the surface of shell B, divided by B, because P is also inside the shell B, plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QC by small c. Now we put the value of QA, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. QA is charge on the spherical shell A, and it is the surface charge density is sigma, and surface area is 4 pi A square divided by A, plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma 4 pi B square by B, plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma 4 pi C square by C. So we can write it as this 4 pi epsilon, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common, again 4 pi is also common, and sigma is also common. The remaining is here A and A will cancel, B and B will cancel, C and C will cancel. So it's simply remaining is A plus B plus C. Here 4 pi and 4 pi will get cancelled, so we can write it is 1 by epsilon naught into A plus B plus C, and now sigma we have calculated, it is Q by 4 pi A square plus B square plus C square. Therefore, potential at P is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q A plus B plus C divided by A square plus B square plus C square. So, out of the given option, option B is the correct option. Now, the next question is 10. Let there is a spherically symmetric charge distribution with charge density is given is this. This is a variable density. Therefore, we have to use the integral differential method. And this charge density varies up to R equal to capital R, and it is 0 for R greater than capital R. So, it is a spherically symmetric charge distribution. Where R is the distance from the origin, the electric field at a point R which is less than capital R. That means if this is a spherically symmetric charge distribution which is distributed over its volume, here this is the center, and from the center this surface is showing the distance R, and there is a point P which is at a distance R, for which we have to find the electric field. So to find the electric field, we will use the Gauss law, and for Gauss law we take a Gaussian surface. Therefore, using the Gauss law, it is integral E dot ds, this is the flux, and it is equal to Q enclosed by the Gaussian surface and divided by epsilon naught. And for spherically symmetric configuration, Gaussian surface is spherical surface, and for a spherical Gaussian surface, electric field E and the surface area ds both are in same direction. Therefore, angle between them is 0 degree. So, therefore, we can write E ds cos 0 equal to 1 by epsilon naught. And now charge enclosed, because charge distribution is not a constant distribution, it is a variable. Therefore, we have to use method of integration, for which we considered a shell at a distance, suppose x, with thickness dx. This is the thickness. So it gives the volume of the taken elementary shell. So using this, we can write charge enclosed is integral of r equal to 0 x equal to 0 to r, because we have taken the x as a variable radius, and charge is the charge density, that is rho r. It is rho 0 5 by 4 in minus r by capital R. This is the charge density, and then multiplied by the volume of the elementary shell, that is 4 by x square dx. Now this is constant at the surface, that is the Gaussian surface. Because of the symmetry, we can take it out. Cos 0 is 1, therefore remaining is ds, and it is equal to 1 by epsilon naught. Constant terms are taken out. This is rho 0 is taken out. 4 pi is also constant, and remaining is integral x equal to 0 to r 5 by 4 minus, here we have also to take, this is x, because we are taking the variable, we are taking the density at the distance x, so it is also should be taken x, and it will become 5 by 4 x square minus x cube by r dx. Integration of this Gaussian surface area, it will give 4 pi r square, that is equal to 1 by epsilon naught rho naught 4 pi, and taking the integration, 5 by 4 is constant, integration of x square is x cube by 3 minus, now this is x cube by r, and this integration is x raised to the power 4 by 4, and remaining is 1 by r, and limit of integration is x equal to 0 to r. So cancelling the constant common terms, this is 4 pi and 4 pi will get cancelled. So E will be equal to rho naught by epsilon naught by 1 by r square, and here it is 5 by 20 x cube minus 1 by 4r x 4 x equal to 0 to r. Now substituting the value of the limits, it will be rho 0 by epsilon naught 1 by r square, first upper limit, so it will come 5 by 20, 5 by 12, actually 5, 4 into 3, that is 12. 5 by 12 into r cube minus 1 by 4 r raised to power 4, and for keeping the lower limit, it is 0. This r square will also get cancelled because r cube is taken out, so it will give r naught r cube by epsilon naught r square, and then this r square will get cancelled, and remaining is 5 by 12 minus 1 by 4r into r, and this is equal to rho naught by epsilon naught. 4 is also common, so it is also taken out, and remaining is 5 by 3 minus r by capital R. So now we compare with the given options, we see that this is also r is there also. So option B is the correct option, that is rho naught r by 4 pi epsilon naught 5 by 3 minus r by r. So option B is the correct option.